Happy Sabbath, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gashi's Command TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. A number of Azimio supporters are asking, what next? Now that the police killed so many Azimio supporters, now that a number of leaders were arrested, some of them went underground. What next for Azimio? Are they going to continue with maandamano? I am not very sure. But listening to the leaders of Azimio is like maandamano yataendelea. Listening to Raila AMOLO ODINGA, Stephen KALONZO Musyoka, and other leaders, akina Eugene Wamalwa, it is very clear that maandamano yataendelea. I don't know what you think about this, but in this video, I want us to look at why I strongly believe it is time for Raila AMOLO ODINGA to hand over the baton to Stephen KALONZO Musyoka as the lead Azimio presidential candidate, deputized by Babu Owino and Eugene Wamalwa. I propose two deputies. I propose that the constitution be amended to have two deputies, not to fit the Azimio game plan, but it is good for the country. It is good for the nation, because it is very, very necessary. When you look at the number of tribes that we have in Kenya, when you look at the division that we have in Kenya, I believe that if the executive were to be expanded and maybe even have a prime minister, that one would be very, very good for the country. That one would bring the much needed healing in our country. So I believe that there is an agreement within the Azimio kwamba Kalonzo fit the bill. There is also an agreement that Babu Owino has played a very, very active role. It is also very clear that Eugene Wamalwa cannot be left behind. So those three leaders, if you ask me, should continue from where Raila has stopped. And again, with the support, with the backing of Raila AMOLO ODINGA and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, I believe this team can go very far away. I believe that these people can be able to make William Samoei Ruto a one-term president. That is the truth of the matter. Because from the look of things, on the ground, William is not popular. That is the truth of the matter. The William who is in State House is very different from William who was being voted for in 2022 general elections. Tunaona mtu tofauti kabisa, na hii ni kwa sababu ya mambo ambayo sina haja ya kuelezea hapa, kwa sababu mambo hayo ni wazi kama jua. So in this video, I want to give the reasons why I strongly believe that a team of KALONZO Musyoka, Babu Owino and Eugene Wamalwa should be given a chance to lead this nation. The first thing, in my view, when you bring the three leaders together, they have what I call synergy. Each has its own advantages. When you bring them together, you get synergy. And this synergy is the one that is needed to move the country forward. If you look at the current situation today, when you look at William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, they don't have the synergy because of the way they have approached the national issues, because of the way they have shown the country that Riggy G is the deputy president of the Mount Kenya nation, and it is look very tribal and it doesn't have a national appeal. And that is why I believe that there is no synergy. And that is why even when they are working together, you see it is not synergy. It is just reaction. It is a reactionary kind of leadership, a management also by crisis. That is where we are. Again, when you look at our leaders, especially Babu Owino and Eugene Wamalwa, the two guys are youthful. They are going to encourage, they are going to attract the votes for the youth. Yes, the youth are going to remain with them. And this is very, very important because in Kenya, majority of the voters are below that years. And when you look at Babu Owino is loved by the youth. Babu Owino is one person who is youthful, like Wamalwa, although Wamalwa is not very youthful. And then you have the father figure now of Kalonzo Musyoka. That is what we need in this country. Again, the presence of Babu Owino is going to ensure that Nairobi County remain in Azimio. Nairobi County is very, very important as far as the politics of this country is concerned. And it is only Babu Owino who can be able to retain the votes of Nairobi. It is only Babu Owino who can be able to ensure that Nairobi has voted as a united bloc. And now when you add this to Western, you add this to Nyanza, you add this to Eastern, and then unaongezea hapa na pale in the coast. Sababu I believe in the coast they should get also somebody to be very close. Somebody like Joe should be brought very close. When you bring these people together, in fact, you have won the elections. Unless it is rigged that like it happened last time. Again, when you look at Babu Owino represents a tribalist youth. You know, one thing that has destroyed this country, it is tribalism. One thing that is destroying Kenya Kwanza government it is tribalism. Kwa sababu tribalism, it is something that you see that the country look like is just an issue of two tribes. It is the issue of the Kikuyus, not even the Gema for sure. It is the Kikuyus and the Kalenjin. That is what we have. When you look at the civil service, you look at the police force, everywhere, it is dominated. They are dominated by the Kikuyus and the Kalenjin. This is something that should be discouraged. And when you even look at the cabinet itself, it is dominated by the two tribes. That is the truth of the matter. So we need a tribalist nation. And that is how Babu Owino comes in. Again, look at Kalonzo's experience. Kalonzo is a man of experience. He's a very experienced person. He was in Moi's government, I think as education minister, also foreign affairs minister. And he was in Kibaki's government as the vice president. Very loyal president, the vice president. And again, you add this to his diplomatic credentials. He was involved in peace mission. And I believe that is how Kenya was able to get the attention of the community of nations and the respect of the neighbors because of the way we were able to bring warring functions together. So Kalonzo experience is much needed. Unlike now, when you look at the current administration, you realize that although William Samoei Ruto has been in government for quite some time, they look like he is not applying the experience. He's not applying the lessons that he learned from Kibaki, Moi, and now this time Uhuru. But even if whatever he's applying, he seems to be leaning heavily towards Arap Moi. He learned so many lessons from Arap Moi. But when you look at the lesson learned from Kibaki, he is not applying a lot. For instance, the lesson of being silent, not talking too much, being silent, because silence in itself is golden. Kibaki would not comment about everything. People would talk, and then he would give his verdict. Again, he is also very experienced in statecraft. That is the truth of the matter. You know, statecraft is not sio kama hii kazi ya kufuga ng'ombe au kuku au samaki au nini. Like, statecraft is an art and a science, if you ask me. It's not something that you wake up and start talking about kwamba sijui you want to do this, you want to bomb sijui wale watu ambao wamevamia wapi nini, you interfere with the neighboring countries. It's not about that. It is about being level-headed. Because this country actually requires somebody who is level-headed. This country requires somebody who is very much focused. This country requires a leader who knows what exactly our country needs. Because when I look at Kenya Kwanza seems to be getting it wrong. It is like they don't know what Kenyans want. And maybe I can remind them. Kenyans want low fuel, they want uga ambao unauzwa tuseme kwa mfano shilingi 100, bei ya stima ishuke, security to be improved. They want the police to stop brutality, to stop terrorizing wananchi ambao hawana hatia. They want school fees to be lowered, and if possible, make education completely free, because it's not free. They want fairness even when it comes to university education. That is what you want. Hakuna mambo mengi sisi tunataka, ni hayo tu. I don't know what you think. I don't know where you're watching this video from, and may you have a blessed Sunday. Saturday, sorry for that, for those who, you know, a normal talk of Sabbath. It is, although in some places, by the way, we are different time zone. May you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.